built on the natural movements of the breath. We're going to start in Virasana, sitting on the heels. If this is not available for you, please either sit on a block or find a comfy cross-legged seat. So once you've found your seat, rest the palms of your hands on your thighs and allow the eyes to gently close. Start to relax the muscles of the face, relax the scalp. Drop the shoulder blades down the back and allow the hips to sink down. As the hips sink down, feel the spine rise infinitely up into space. Feel the crown of the head weightless, floating above the shoulders. Relax the ears, the jaw, and the roof of the mouth. From this place of stillness, start to bring your attention to the breath. Feel it flowing in and out of the nose, naturally becoming deeper as we enter a state of relaxation. Slightly constrict the back of your throat to cultivate Ujjayi pranayama so that your breath sounds like the ocean as it flows in and out. Feel the spine lengthen on the inhale, and as you exhale, feel the vertebrae glide back together and the belly empty of breath. Inhale and feel space grow between the vertebrae as the crown of the head reaches skyward. And as you exhale, feel everything come back to center from all directions. As the breath gets deeper, the movement becomes more pronounced. The deeper the breath, the greater the spinal axial extension. The more the breath empties, the more the belly comes back to spine. Take a couple more rounds of breath here. Focus on the movement of the spine as you breathe in and out. Feel the chest lift as you breathe in, and the hips sink down as you breathe out. You can gently blink your eyes open. Now we're going to build on that natural movement of the spine, expanding and coming back together. So inhale, lengthen the spine, and then as you exhale, the belly empties, the chin comes to chest, and the crown of the head starts to reach towards the ground. Leading with the crown, the spine follows. Then as you inhale, start with the head. First, start to raise the gaze. Raise the head. That will peel the chest up. As the chest peels up, the belly engages and the spine rises back over the hips. Still breathing in, the crown of the head reaches back and the chest opens. And then exhale, start with the head and tuck the chin. Lead the spine over the thighs as the crown of the head reaches to the ground. And then inhale, untuck the chin. Allow the lift of the head to initiate the lift of the heart. The lift of the heart initiates the tailbone pointing towards the ground as we come back towards straight. Still drinking in the breath, the crown of the head reaches back and going back down again. Do 2 more rounds of this as slow and with as much control as possible. Just following the crown of the head to see how the spine is affected. And after this next inhale, return to neutral. Now we're going to come onto your hands and knees. So set up with the hands underneath the shoulders and the fingers spread wide and the knees underneath the hips. Lift the center of the palms and feel that energy travel up the arm bones into the shoulder blades. Pull the shoulder blades down the back and spread the collarbones so that the heart space is open in the front and back. Now leading with the breath. Inhale. Lead with the crown of the head as you arc your back and look to the front of the room. And then exhale, this time start with the tailbone. So first the tailbone curls under, the lower back, middle back, upper back, encouraging the head to hang. And arc starting with the tailbone again. Inhale, first the tailbone arcs, the lower belly drops, the ribs expand, and then the heart lifts. And this time start with the crown of the head. First drop the head heavy towards the mat. The back of the heart presses to the sky, and eventually the front of the hip bones point towards the ribs as the tailbone points down. Starting with the head, inhale, the head lifts, encouraging the chest to open, the belly drops, and the back arches intact. Then with the tailbone tucks, spine rounds, eventually pushing the back of the heart to the sky, and the head drips off the neck. And with the tailbone, inhale, first the tailbone lifts, the lower back arches, then the upper back arches, the collarbone spread as you drink in your breath, and then exhale, press the earth away into cats. And now we're going to add the Sahaja element. So Sahaja is very intuitive, it's fluid, spontaneous, and you'll be able to find more movements here if you're moving with the breath. So start with an inhale, reaching up in cat, and see where else the breath wants to take you. Maybe the hips come back into the sides. Just work with the natural movement of the breath. Allow it to bring your awareness to different corners of the body. Imagine that the body is a river of energy. The energy is flowing around the bones. And allow any movement to arise out of this. There's no right or wrong here. just so long as you're feeling your body and building on the breath. A couple more breaths here. And returning to stillness. So now we're going to come into Anahatasana or puppy pose. Keep the hips over the knees and stretch the hands out in front of you. Before you lower your chest down, you want to push the earth away with the hands. Lift the center of the palms. And then, keeping the arms active, lower the forehead towards the ground. As you inhale, feel the spine lengthen. And as you exhale, the belly comes to spine. As you inhale, the back of the heart expands and the shoulder blades spread apart as the body fills with breath. And as you exhale, the chest sinks towards the ground. Building on this movement, inhale, press the hands into the earth. Lift the chest. As you lift the head, the chest lifts. And then exhale, as you lower the chest, the head drops. Inhale, buoyancy leading with the head. Lift the chest, peel the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, push the earth away, belly comes to spine, and the back arches. One more round of breath here, leading with the head. And from here, really plug the forearms into the earth. Bring the belly to spine as you exhale. And as you exhale, the belly's to spine. Lift the head and the hips start to shift forward. The belly is still in as we're exhaling. And the heart starts to come forward. Lower the thighs down, belly still engaged, and then the hips drop. To land in Shalamba Bhujangasana, Sphinx. So pull the hands backwards on the mat. So pull the heart forward. And press the heart to the back of the room. As the legs and feet ground. Start to release the neck here. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Roll through to center with chin to chest. Coming up left ear to left shoulder. Allow the breath to feed this movement. As you exhale, the belly empties and the head hangs. As you inhale, lengthen the spine leads to lengthen the neck as you stretch over to the right. Exhale, empty your breath. Let the exhale roll off the crown of the head. And inhale to the left. Feel the length in the spine. Feed the length in the neck. And then exhale, chin to chest. And lift the head. Inhale, press into the palms to lift the chest. And then lower one elbow and then the other. Try to find a Sahaja quality here. add in the legs. Lift onto the left palm, bend the left leg. Breathe in and expand the front body. And then exhale, soften and lower down. And inhale, press into the right hand, lift the right leg. Allow the breath to lengthen the left side body. Spread the collarbones. And exhale, belly to spine. And everything comes back to center. Back to the left, inhale. And from here, start to roll onto the right side body. The left knee is still bent as the front of the foot lands for Ardha Virasana. If it's not accessible for you to bend the knee like this and be sitting on the inside of the foot, you can simply unbend it and take Baddha Konasana, leg like that. But if you're here, sink right down to the mat with the tailbone pointing towards the back of the room. Reach your arms overhead. And as you inhale, feel the spine lengthen from the tailbone all the way to the occipital ridge of the skull. The body lifts as it fills with breath. And as you exhale, the tailbone points towards the back of the room and the ribs lower towards the mat. Inhale to find length between every vertebrae. And exhale, feel everything come back to center. The spine glides back together. The belly comes to spine from the front and the sides. And then as you exhale, bring the right arm out to your side. Start to roll back to the belly. Keep the left leg bent. And lift again in this Sphinx variation. So you can stay here for a couple breaths or turn the right forearm sideways on the mat. Find the left toes with the left hand. Point the elbow up and bring the heel towards the outside of the hip to stretch into the quads. Inhale to spin the chest open. Find length in the spine. And exhale, sink the pelvis into the ground. As the belly empties, the body finds more room to expand. Inhale, return the gaze to ground. Gently release the foot and lower it slowly back to meet the right. Landing in Sphinx. Take a couple breaths here. Press the pelvis down. Contract the quads and ground the feet. And on an inhale, press into the right hand to straighten the right arm and bend the right knee. As you exhale, turn the chest skyward and start to roll on to the left hip, coming all the way around until the hips and torso face the sky and the hips are on the inside of the right foot in half hero. Allow yourself to sink down onto the mat and reach your arms overhead. As you inhale, feel the arc in the back exaggerate as the vertebrae spread apart. And as you Feel all glide back together as the belly empties and the upper back rests on the mat. Inhale, length all the way to the occipital ridge of the skull. Feel the chest expand, and as you exhale, feel the chest deflate, collarbone slide back together, and the belly empties. And notice the expansion of the breath leading into the legs. So as you inhale, the spine lengthens, encouraging the right knee to actually press towards the back of the room. As you exhale, feel the right thigh bone come back into the socket a little bit more as the spine grows back together. Stretch your left arm to your side. Engage the belly as you start to roll back to the mat. Keep the right knee bent and find yourself back in this half Sphinx variation. You can breathe here and feed the front body with breath, or turn the left arm sideways and grab the front of the foot with the right hand, point the elbow up, and bring the heel towards the outer hip. Inhale, feel the heart grow buoyant as it fills with breath. And as you exhale, feel the tailbone point to the back of the room. And inhale, grow from the tailbone. Feel the chest expand and spin open. Exhale, the tailbone and the lower back lengthen. One more breath here. Then exhale, you can release the foot. Gently lower the leg back to meet the left. Return to Sphinx. One big breath in, maybe lift onto the hands. Keep the pelvis grounded. And then exhale to gently and with control use the belly to lower the chest and head all the way to the ground. You can rest your forehead on your hands and gently sway your hips side to side to release from this long back bend. Now use your breath as a counter pose. So as you inhale, inflate the belly and lower back. Feel the lower vertebrae spread apart and the SI joints spread apart. Exhale, press the thighs into the ground. Inhale, relax the thighs, inflate the lower back, feel it blow up like a balloon. And exhale, press the thighs into the ground. Keep the belly active. One more inhale here. Fill the low back up with as much breath as you can drink in. And then exhale out your mouth as you release into the mat. We're going to do one more back bend while we're here. So bring the palms underneath the shoulders. We're just going to do a Cobra Bhujangasana with some Sahaja movements. So for your first inhale, peel the chest off the ground and feel that motion that we felt when we were rising up and down in Virasana. Exhale to lower down. So inhale, start with the head. The head lifts, encouraging the chest to lift. As the belly engages, the whole spine rises. And then exhale, melt back to the earth. And now for our Sahaja movements. Inhale, peel the left shoulder back, look over the left shoulder. Exhale, return to the mat and move to the right. Allow the breath to guide you here. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just so long as you're creating fluidity in the spine. One more breath here. See if you can find a sense of effortlessness in this. And resting down on the belly again. Sway the hips side to side. And then exhale out your mouth. And then inhale, raise the head, raise the chest, plant the hands, push the hips back towards the heels, and take Balasana, or Child's Pose. You'll want to lower down slowly, because this is the exact opposite stretch of what we've been working with on our bellies. Let the hips sink towards the heels and the spine lengthen. And then lower the forehead to the mat when you're ready. Feed the breath to the spine. Feel it expand and contract. Feel the lower back broaden. Feel the forehead broaden in this relaxed state. And then inhale, raise the head. Allow the head to raise the chest. Shift forward to hands and knees and push up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. You can bend one knee and then the other here. Sway the hips side to side. Find fluidity and intuition as you move with your breath. Press the earth away with your hands. Energy travels up from the center of the palms. And as you find more openness here, maybe the movements become more exaggerated. Just work with your breath. Allow the breath to guide you. Inhales, expand. Exhales, empty. A couple more breaths here, getting into the side body and the hips. And eventually finding stillness. Press the earth away with your hands. Reach the tailbone high and drop the heels to the ground. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Feel the spine lengthen, the legs lengthen, the arms lengthen. And then exhale, swivel the heels to the left. Inhale to sweep the right arm up. Maybe the right knee points to the sky. And then exhale, sweep the right arm to the ground and plant the right foot between the hands. Lower arm to the back knee and untuck your toes. Start with the head drooping down towards the mat. And then inhale to raise your gaze. Feel the chest open. Exhale, the belly to spine. Now lift onto the right knee with the hands to pull the chest upright. Bring your shoulder blades down your back. You can stay here if you like, or we're going to add Sahaja arms, Sahaja movement as we work into opening the spine, opening the chest, opening the side bodies and the shoulders. So first start sweeping the right arm across the horizon. The fingers come behind the head, the chest opens, press into the right foot, and then exhale, the arm sweeps to the side, moving to the left side. Sweep the horizon with the left hand, push into the right foot to rise, give space for the chest to open, and left arm comes to the side. And now start to add your own expression, moving with the breath, using the right foot to rise, and remembering to lead with the crown of the head. Use both arms. And exhale, the hands frame the right foot. Inhale, shift the hips back. Keep the chest where it is. Lengthen the spine, and then flex the right foot. Feel the legs hugging towards each other energetically. Inhale to find length, expansion in the front, back, and sides. And exhale to fold down towards your leg. Find a moment of stillness. Relax your jaw. Relax your forehead. Send your breath to the right leg. Keep the breath deep. Inhale to raise the gaze, raise the chest, and start to come back towards lunge. Tuck your back toes behind you. Press the feet away from each other. Really charge up the legs. And then inhale, press into the feet to take one breath in high lunge. Maybe lead back with the crown of the head to open the chest. And then exhale, hands frame the foot, and step the left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen the chest away from the hips, And exhale to fold in for Uttanasana. Inhale, lead with the chest till the tailbone points to the ground as you rise. Arms sweep overhead. Maybe lead with the crown of the head to open the heart. And exhale, hands drop through center, diving right back down for Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the belly away from your thighs. And exhale to step back into plank. Take in one breath here to lengthen from heels to crown. And exhale to lower down for Chaturanga. Keep the chest lifted. So we're already ready to come into our back bend. And then inhale, lead with the heart forward and up in Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Then exhale, starting with the tailbone. First, the tailbone points towards the heels and starts to point up to the sky, leading the chest into downward facing dog. Press the earth away and allow the head to hang heavy. And inhale into the balls of the feet and swivel the heels to the right. Inhale to peel the left arm open to the sky. Feel the chest expansive. And then maybe the left knee points to the sky as well. One big breath. And then exhale to plant the left hand. Use the belly to plant the left foot. Lower onto the right knee and allow your head to drip towards the ground. And then inhale, first start to raise your gaze. As the throat lengthens, the chest starts to lift. Climb onto the left knee, belly to spine, and then press into the knee to lift the chest. Moving into our Sahaja movements, starting with the left hand. Inhale, the left arm sweeps the horizon as the spine lengthens with the breath. And as the spine is still lengthening, maybe the spine arcs open and the left arm drips to the side. And then inhale, the right hand sweeps the horizon. The spine is lengthening this whole inhale that you take. And the right hand drips to the side. And now add your own movements using the left foot to rise. Expanding with the natural expansion of the breath. And as you exhale, the body's empty, and maybe you can find more expression. Now your next exhale, plant the hands on either side of the foot. Keep your chest where it is as you inhale to straighten the left leg and the hips reach back. Lengthen the front body as you breathe in and exhale to bow down towards the left leg. Relax your face and relax your shoulders as you enjoy a moment of stillness in Ardha Hanumanasana. Feel the legs hugging towards each other energetically. Feel the spine lengthen from the tailbone to the occipital ridge. Feel the belly empty of breath. Inhale, raise your gaze, which raises your chest. And start to crawl back forward to Anjaneyasana. Tuck your right toes behind you and lift the right quad. Bring the left hip back in space and bring the belly to spine. And with an inhale, press into the left foot to rise all the way up in high lunge. Maybe the inhale leads the crown of the head back. And exhale to shift forward, plant the hands, and bring the right foot next to the left. Inhale to find the length in the front body, back body, and side body. And exhale to bow in. Inhale to lengthen. From the tailbone to the crown of the head. Exhale to pull inward. And then inhale, leading with the tailbone. So the knees bend a little bit. The tailbone starts to point down. As the tailbone points down, the rest of the spine comes in line over the hips and the arms sweep overhead. And exhale to dive right back down for Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen forward. Reach the crown of the head to the front of the room. Exhale to step back in Dandasana and lower all the way to your belly. We're going to prepare for our last back bend today, which is Dhanurasana. So Dhanurasana oftentimes can feel kind of static because our hands are bound to our feet and we're basically moving in one plane, just trying to lift up and lengthen the spine forward and back. But what we're going to do is try to find a little bit more expression and a little bit more expansion here. So bend your knees, point the tailbone towards the back of the room, and find the tops of your feet or your ankles. Before you lift up, tune into the natural movement of the breath. So as you inhale, feel the chest inflate, the belly inflate. The shoulders pull back as you breathe in. And exhale, the body empties of breath. And as it's empty, maybe we can find more movement. One more breath. Feel the vertebrae spread apart. Feel the side joints spread apart. Exhale everything back to center. Then inhale, press the feet into the hands to lift the chest. Still looking at the ground. Now inhale, lift the gaze, and notice how that opens the chest. to press the feet into the hands. And exhale as the body empties of breath. Notice if the spine can arc a little bit more. Inhale to open and expand. Exhale, the body naturally comes out of it a little bit. Again, inhale, expand, and stay here, or maybe roll over to the left. Well, exhale to roll back to center. Inhale to open. Exhale over to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale to open one more time. And exhale to release the feet. And gently lower everything down to the mat. Gently rock the hips side to side to release the lower back. Come to stillness and use a couple breaths as a counter pose. So as you inhale, the lower belly blows up like a balloon, creating a broad feeling across the lower back. And when you're ready, lift your gaze and roll over onto your back. Another great counter pose for back bends is to bend your knees and reach between the legs to grab the inner ankles. You don't need to pull them or anything. This is just providing traction for the spine. It allows the spine to lengthen and the lower back to press into the ground. Take a couple breaths here. Slightly tuck the chin to the chest to lengthen the neck. And feel the spine long from the skull all the way to the tailbone. You can bring the knees into chest and draw circles on the ceiling as the thighs stir over the hips. Move slowly in with the breath. Feel every point of contact, the lower back on the ground. Make sure you go both directions. And stopping at center. Spread your arms out to a T. And with an exhale, allow the knees to fall over to the right. Gaze can remain at center or turn to the left. As you inhale, feel the left side body grow expansive as the left hip reaches away from the left ribs. And as you exhale, drop the shoulders into the ground. Drop the head into the ground. Feel the body heavy at every point that it's contacting the ground. And allow gravity to assist you in your twist so that it's gentle, nurturing, and natural. Inhale, return your gaze to center. Engage the belly to roll back onto your hips. Take a breath in to realign the spine. And exhale, the knees drop over to the left. As you breathe in, the right hip reaches away from the right ribs, creating space in the right side body. And as you exhale, drop the shoulders into the mat, the left hip and thigh into the mat. Relax the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. And feel the spine lengthen with the breath from the tailbone all the way to the skull. Inhale, return your gaze to center. Engage the belly to roll back. Hug your knees into your chest gently, just to feel everything come back to center line. As you inhale, feel the occipital ridge of the skull reach away from the shoulders. Now as you exhale, feel the lower back drop into the mat. On your next breath out, you can gently spread open for Shavasana. Allow your eyes to gently close and the face to soften. Let an exhale out your mouth to release your breath. Allow the breath to flow smoothly, freely, and naturally. Enjoy the sensations of the breath, filling the body, clearing the body of old energy as all of your limbs drop heavy onto the ground. Your facial expression melts. You may remain here for as long as you like. Enjoy your breath. Namaste.